Welcome, everybody, to Media Made TV. Of course, it's your girl, AZ Chemistry. This is an AZ Chemistry takeover. And let me tell you, Jersey is in the house today. Y'all is not ready. Well, if you're not ready, maybe you should just get ready because here we go. I have some amazing artists to present to you today. Thank you so much. I want to give a couple shout outs first before we even get started. Media Made TV, Media Made Magazine, Media Made Radio. Hey, it's Media Made everything up in here today. My name is AZ Chemistry, and I'm so excited to just present to you the artists that we have from Jersey, because you know that's where I'm from. So today I'm presenting to you a couple artists who have been grinding. You understand what I'm saying? So let's get this party started right now. I'm going to introduce to you first on my left, Mr. Intercontinental Kent.
How you doing? Peace, Queen.
Hey, peace. How are you today?
All is well.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so on this side right here, I have K Banger.
Salute, my sister.
Salute as well.
Thank you for having us.
Ooh, y'all is not ready. They're on my side of town right now. I'm taking over Media Made, Sangria. Shout out to Sangria. He doesn't even know, but I'm taking over
Sangria,
right
what
now.
up?
You feel me? Like that's what's happening right now. We're Jersey strong. So welcome. Welcome to AZ. This is where we're filming live right now in Arizona because they're visiting. Because we also want to shout out Radio Super because this weekend Radio Super is celebrating 16 years on air. Lots of interviews, lots of opportunities for people to just have a platform to play their music. I'm excited to be a part of that. These gentlemen are a part of that. They came to celebrate.
Yes.
And I just wanted to take some time to just like have you get the opportunity to get to know the gentlemen that are here to represent Jersey, hip hop, Arizona, New Jersey, um, Radio Super, Media Made. Welcome.
Thank you. Yo, I like that intro right there.
So, can you do me a favor, Intercontinental Kent?
Yes. Anything.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
All right, well, first off, she met in the Continental Camp from that glorious and luxurious Headliners and Legends Edutainment. So, a little bit about myself. So, I was basically born into the music industry. Like, people ask me all the time, like, how did you get into the industry? How did you start? I was born into it. We go back with one generation of my family, the group The Drifters. Rest in peace, my Uncle Glenn, but that's family. Our next generation would be the Force MDs.
Wow.
3 out of the 5 of my cousins.
Wow.
Right. Then the next generation of us is going to be Wu Tang.
Woo.
So, like, we saw that's family. Um, I'm a member of Rough Riders. I've been with Rough Riders as an official member since 2010, but I was running around with the camp for years. Prior to that, I was just a knucklehead, so I was doing too much other stuff, and I couldn't actually focus on like what. Not we're not gonna say focus. I couldn't, excuse me, commit
Mm-hmm.
to saying, okay, I'm gonna dedicate my life to this right now, even though it was something I wanted to do. I had too much other stuff that I shouldn't have been doing.
Mm.
That was taking over, and I didn't want to bring anybody into any of the foolishness I had going on. But outside of that, Mom Dukes at the time, she was working for the I'm sorry, for the record label that was doing the Star Wars soundtracks.
Okay.
So I was, like I said, I was legitimately born into the industry. Um, Outside of that, I went to school for, hey, and I know I'm fast forwarding, digital cinematography. I went to Full Sail, South Florida, and we had chances to work on stuff like Avatar.
Mm.
Um, I didn't want to go for music because I felt like, okay, I'm trying to just do the artist thing. I wasn't really focused on too much production and engineering and stuff like that. But we got that stuff done. But I'm from Jersey, born in Jersey City, New Jersey, raised between Perth Amboy, New Jersey, Bayonne, Newark, and Staten Island, New York. Um, I'm sorry to be long winded about this. You can edit that out and all
I
that.
like it. I like
But
it. I like it. I love it.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I'm just me. The name Intercontinental Kent. I
Mm-hmm.
was going by Verbal Kent,
Okay,
the
because I
usual
was I
suspect.
thought that. I
Yeah,
thought there was another name
yes,
involved.
yes.
Okay.
The name was
Another
Verbal Kent.
moniker, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Come from the movie The Usual Suspects.
Okay.
Kevin Spacey, he played the part of Verbal Kent and Kaiser Soze,
Mm-hmm.
and we was making a little bit of noise, moving around. Nobody complained about the name. My peoples would just call me Verbs anyway. But
Okay.
I guess we did something right. It's probably well, Chuck D was working with Slam Jams, which is the company that was doing the videography for the and one basketball league.
Okay.
So it was Chuck D, Eugene Napoleon, and Lathan Hodge. They put out a film called No Boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And when they did this film, No Boundaries, there were 3 songs on it that was featuring myself and the Chrome Kids. Salute for Fanat Rag, Beijing, Quaz. Um, but anyway, we got these songs together. And shortly after this soundtrack came out, I started getting hit up talking about, hey, so you got the name Verbal Kent? Yes. Are you into it? Hold on. Who are you and how do you know? Oh, you know what? The label's hitting me with this, so it must be something good. Nah, it wasn't no label. It was a film company. I forgot if it was Lionsgate or it was one of them. But they hit me with a cease and desist. But they did give me a marvelous offer that I wasn't going to take. They
Okay.
said,
Okay.
they said you can keep the name,
Wow.
but we want 100% of the publishing.
Dang.
I said, hold
What?
on, how much?
Pause.
Like 100, like the number that comes after 99 and before 101. No, we changing the name. My people's call me Verbs anyway.
Mm.
So I was like, I didn't want to negotiate. I wasn't gonna say let's do 70, 30, none of that. I don't want to give up nothing. But I
You
was doing so
know.
much traveling overseas. Salute my big brother Woo.
Mm.
But I was doing so much traveling that dude I used to rock with, he used to call me Intercontinental. So I was like, you know
Mm.
what? I want to keep the Kent. So it was an Intercontinental Kent.
Mm.
Now everybody that's sitting there and I'm telling them the name, everybody's like, international Kent. I'm like, okay, so these dumbos over here can't even say the word Intercontinental. So which is why I break it down like Int Kent.
Right.
So if you call me Intercontinental, great. You call me International, great. It's something. But it's actually Intercontinental Kent and website, intkent.com, stuff like that. But
You know what? You make a really great point of how powerful a name is because your name was so powerful they wanted to own it. And there's so many artists today that don't realize how powerful their name or their moniker
I stole
or
the
their
name from them.
brand is,
I took the
right?
name from the movie.
Okay, okay,
Like as soon
okay.
as I saw the movie, I was like, Verbal Kent. He played the cripple the entire movie,
Yeah,
and he was the person doing everything. So I took the name after the first time I saw the movie. So I
gotcha.
can't even say a lot of y'all on air. Like nah. I took the name from the movie,
Hmm.
but they didn't.
But you elevated it
Right, and
to the point they were like, "Oh, you
right,
right?
and
Okay."
that was the dope thing. But I
Hmm.
don't want to have anybody think that I'm saying that it was my name. Nah, I took the name from the movie. Saw it one time, I'm taking it. That's it.
I got you.
And they came back and said, no, you can have it. It's yours.
Right.
But we want
However,
100%.
wow. All right. Perfect. 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 It's so awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to swing over here to the K Banger, K Banger, K Banger, K Banger. How you doing today?
Yeah, peace. Thanks for having us today.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, thank you.
K Banger, how did you get your name?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
My name, by definition, is really a sobriquet. It was a name that was given to me, and not necessarily something that I call myself.
Okay.
So I got that name from a friend who made it up and put it in a verse. He said, K Banger, the rectifier, with me in unity, hellfires, the stages, blazing battle axe banging. It was from a record called Eastern Renaissance, something that locally we were banging.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace,
rest in
Oswald.
peace, rest in
Triple figure,
peace.
what up, Oswald?
The Balance Project, what up? And from that record, everybody started calling me K Banger because at that time I was playing drums in the band that we were playing in, known as the Balance Project.
Okay.
And I played with different folks. So people just started calling me K Banger. And hip hop for me is my experiment with commitment. So I said I would stick to the name and I would do something with that name. Well, That's a whole other story, but that's in short, that's how I got the name.
Wow. So tell me, what's the connection here? How did the two of you
Oh
connect?
Lord.
How did y'all meet, or how are we connected?
I think Kent might have he has a much better memory than I do, so I think he can probably tell you a little better than I could.
So we're from the same town, from different sides of the city too, and a lot of people would say, especially at the time that we were growing up, that each of the different sides of towns, like we didn't have gangs and nothing like that. Not like that wasn't an East Coast thing, you know. We had posses and we had crews and stuff like that. But he was from a side called the Waterfront. Um, I was from the Budapest section of the city, and I was like, he was like, this dude's a legend. So we're gonna stop the humble, letting him talk humble and all that. He
Right.
was a legend,
All
okay?
Right.
And
100%.
Right.
Solid,
straight up and down. So we on different sides of the city. Um, we had a mutual acquaintance. Well, actually, I'm gonna say a mutual brother, a mutual friend, my man Theory, and him and a partner of his were going by the name PhD, poor, hungry and dirty.
Whoa.
So, straight up. So everybody used to work.
This is when hip hop was raw.
Right. Oh yeah, we were filthy. We were filthy. So
it wasn't so polished and clean at that time.
and I'm talking about like this is back when the Four Stacks 4-track was the thing.
Mm.
So we sitting there recording my man Theory's spot or whatever, and he knew K, he knew me, he also knew cats from the other sides. Like one of the projects we had out there is called the Stockton Building. He knew people in the Stockton, the Huntington, Delaney Homes, the Waterfront, Smith Street, all that. Amboy, what up? And he had my man Kurt, called him Killer, and he was bringing my ex partner Shaq. And I remember one day I'm pulling up, like Shaq and them are walking out. I'm getting ready to walk in, and Kurt was like, "You got to battle my man." I bet. Let's rock. So me and him, we just kept going, kept going. It's like we could battle till our tongues fall off, and it was just like a dope connection. K already knew him anyway, but K, he had I rest in peace, eyeball, triple beam. They had a real nice squad. But anyway, long story short, Theory wanted to bring like people together and form this union called Silent Assassins.
Mm.
Alvarez, salute Alvarez. He
Mark
came.
Amir, what up?
Mark Amir, what up? So he brought everybody together from different sides of the city, and it worked.
Mm.
It just worked. And we was doing joints in the '90s, and we didn't see each other for a while long. Now I'm doing something which we'll get into later, but I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records 5 years in a row.
Whoa.
So we rocking out, yeah.
Whoa.
Word.
For why?
Well, we're gonna talk about
Okay,
that
we'll
towards the
get,
end
we'll
of it,
get to
because
that.
it goes
I
from
didn't want to
me
distract
and Kay from the same city.
Okay.
He was also rocking with a clique called Science of Life,
Mm.
Dope Brothers, and a brother named Kane, who was doing production for them as well as videography. Kane was working at BET at the time. So I know Kay and Kane got together. Kay got a job at BET. We ain't see him for a minute. Kay was gone.
Right.
I'm out of this town. I'm blowing this joint. So now, anyway, I see him years later at this, and this is the MySpace days. So we would see each other on there and stuff like that. But I'm doing work with Magic Johnson Theater and the H2C2 committee. One day, I want to say this might have been the second year, and all them Zulu Nation brothers came walking in, and he was there. And I see him. I'm like, okay, so what you doing here? What you doing here? So we just Ralph McDaniels, everybody's out there, and we just chopped it up, and it was a beautiful this thing, because like we're from the same place, and we both obviously made it out.
Mm.
He was never on no drama, no nonsense. I was trying to stay away from any kind of nonsense or
Trying.
yeah.
Keyword is trying.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, we was definitely doing it, and even with the other people that were part of this crew, like everybody cool and all that, but certain people just didn't make it. Right? We'll say that.
To say the least, yeah.
Yeah, to say the least. So then, same thing. Seeing them then, didn't see each other for a while. Now we're gonna go back to a couple months ago. I posted an old joint on IG, Okay, you know what? I gotta give him his props. I got a group on Facebook that I started, and he had always been posting in there. So I'm fully aware of the stuff he's doing. He sees what I'm doing, all that. So now I post the old joint on IG, and he writes fire under it. I was like, you know what? This is my brother. It's been too long. I said, yo, bro, hit me, send me your math. We gotta do a joint. Sends it to me. We do a joint. I don't remember which one was first. It might have been I don't know. It might have been the I don't know joint. Yeah. So
So
send him
you
a
asked him how he's doing. He said, "I don't know."
there it is. There it is. So I was like, yo, look, I got this collab I'm working on with the clips. And he was like, word, and I was like, yeah, I said, I want you to get on it. And again, he's a super, super, super humble dude. I said, "Nah, I want you on that. And next do you know, I said, as a matter of fact,
Well, I gotta stop you there. Kent, the first thing we did was Ghoul Music 2025.
okay, yes. We did Goon music first.
Within Greece.
Yes, so right, that's what it was. We was talking about Greece. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So
yeah, it's big,
me,
it's
Young
big.
Z,
Big,
from the Outsiders, and Dame Grease got an album out called Sex, Drugs, and Hip Hop. We're putting that album out now. It's being mixed and mastered. And I wanted K on the joint, and he got on Goon Music. So that song is me, Young Z, Quaz, and K Banger.
That sounds like
Right.
fire.
And then the next, so thank you,
Yeah,
my
it's
brother.
true, it's true.
Then the next joint, okay, boom, sends me this. I said, yo, I'm sitting on this joint is fire. I don't know what direction I want to go in with the hook or none of that. So I'm gonna follow your lead on it. He came back with the hook and it was just so ill. And I was like, there it is. And he got his verse, got my verse. We got the verse from Malice. Not even Pusha T. Malice, the one y'all thought wasn't gonna be rapping the terrestrial rap no more, just gospel rap. Yo, the brother said I came from stepping on coke like Fred Astaire. That's not gospel rap. so straight up. Yeah, so we got that joint. And then we was like, yo, let's do something else. Salute Phil Ducky. He made another beat. And before K was on it, he said, yo, we need to like think like Nickelodeon and stuff like this. Something that everybody can listen to. And
Right.
we're gonna actually perform this song tomorrow too.
Okay.
It's called Built to Win. So we do the joint, and I'm like, yo, like I don't watch sports at all, other than boxing and MMA. Like I don't watch any sports at all. But I'm like, yo, EA Sports. Like they do like the I guess Madden and all those kind of games. Okay, we need to try to push this joint to them as well as these other things. So this
I
joint
see you
comes out.
chasing the mechanical royalty.
Right. We like
Okay.
because the whole thing is everything we do, it has to make sense. Like it gotta make sense, and it gotta make financial sense.
Correct.
We're in this. Okay, yes, we came from doing it for the love of the music. Great, I love the culture. Great, cool. But at the end of the day, we're trying to build generational wealth.
Right.
And I feel like what I don't know, and this joint right here, and a couple other things we're doing. Salute my big brother G, man. G and K working on a project. Me and G working on a project. That's my brother. He out of Chicago, and between that and the solo album I got with Dan Grease, the collaborative album I got with Dan Grease, plus like the stuff that me and Kay are doing together, like stuff it's just incredible.
Sounds incredible. I love that you like to incorporate a lot of different artists in what you do. You seem to like to collab with different artists and have some different features. Tell me about some of the tracks that you have coming up and who's featured on them and what some of the music that you've done.
Okay, so we'll start with the music I've done. Like just throughout the pandemic alone, I've done, I want to say 47 or 48 industry collabs.
Okay.
So we could talk Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, Akon, Salute Khan, Jersey, Future, Wiz Khalifa, Crooked Eye, Cannabis, Keith Murray, Tragedy, Gaddafi, Rock Ness Monster, Capadonna, couple joints with Killer Priest, Bronze Nazareth, Yuck Mouth.
Yo, I said a couple. Let's not, we ain't gotta name everybody.
Obviously DMX, that's my brother. So DMX, Styles P, Davies, a couple joints like that. As far as coming up,
what made you decide you wanted to even pick up a mic and just get started in the game? Like what inspired you to even start to rap?
So my mother, like I said, like my whole family was in the industry already.
Right.
And my mother was actually the first black business owner. You probably didn't know this, Kay. And Amber, my mother owned Shorty Shortstop.
Right.
Yes. So Salute, mama. I love you,
Right,
mama.
right.
Mama's boy, but
Mm.
like just carrying the records for her then boyfriend, it was just so cool. And it wasn't like rap was dope at that time for us. We were young,
Right.
but it was more so like they listened to Bootsy, they listened to George Clinton, they listening to the Reverend Al Green.
Right.
They
Right.
got that Curtis Mayfield. And I'm just like, yo, this sounds so dope. And then my sister, my older sister, yes, love you, babe. She she's listening to Special Eds, Big Daddy Kane, A.B. and Rakim. At this time, we running around with Timberland coats. We got the 8 ball joints. Wasn't really doing Pele's. Well, I wasn't. I ain't had no money for no Pele's, but we was doing all that kind of stuff. The corduroy suede joints and the triple fat gooses, and it just I had to look, and I was like, them dudes suck. I'm betting not the people I just mentioned, but a lot of the people that's trying to rap, I saw. I'm like, they suck. I can do what they're doing. If y'all clapping for that, I can do it too. And then so I just kept trying. I probably wasn't any good at all when I first started. Um, but
But like you said, you were born into it. You had so much influence in your history. We were talking about Force and D's. I'm like, what? Love is a house?
Mm.
right, Love is a
Are
House was
you
that joint. I
kidding me?
redid Tender Love and had Jesse
Oof.
and Trisco both on it.
Mm.
Yes,
Love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Love that.
Rest
Love
in
that.
peace to both of them brothers. I was one of the last people in the hospital with Trisco before he passed.
Mm.
We was in there the day he passed. Salute Tiger.
Mm. K Banger, what about you? What made you decide that it was time that you wanted to enter the game? You wanted to pick up a mic. You had some bars to spit. Like, what was it that inspired you?
Um, if I had to trace it back, there's some. I got some family lineage with musicianship that's kind of passed through. I don't know past like my great grandmother, but she was an accomplished pianist and organist, and my grandmother was singing and got a little popular as a young girl. But as she explained, God rest her soul, it got to her head, and she ended up getting pregnant at like 15, 16 due to the hype of her winning some contest as a singer. My
Mm.
mom always had a nice voice too, and I noticed that pretty young as a child. But I from a child, I was always involved in music somehow. That was the thing that I gravitated to ever since a kid. And as I got older, I transitioned from like just playing stuff by ear on keyboard and emulating people in rock videos with my tennis racket like it was a guitar, and I'd be jumping around, and then I and then eventually I got around some older guys. I was always the young guy in the crew with some of the elders that were in high school and stuff, and so those guys were DJing, and I got around them, and I picked up DJing through them, all guys that I'm still friends with to this day. And with the DJing connection, I started seeing a relationship between what I was feeling and what I was hearing and what I can do to manipulate the things that I hear. And I had a couple guys that wanted to rap, and they were the first ones to want to rap. And because I had a little bit of DJ equipment and was able to spin records, I was going to, of course, be the DJ.
Mm.
But then they weren't really moving the way I wanted them to move, so I ended up making an effort to write raps for them, and it was kind of there. That's where it began, and then you couple that with the whole, you know, um, DJ Red Alert and yeah,
Mm.
and things like that. Looking forward to that, and that was my weekend. My tape cassette, ready on deck, ready to record. DJ Red Alert and um, things of that nature, and going with my cousin to New York and listening to those weekend mixes on my way to Queens, through Brooklyn and driving through New York and being influenced by that, and other friends that were a little older that were break dancing, influenced by the culture, and it all just I just took to it, and it was my art form to express myself beyond what I knew and what was going on in school that was a little limited. So it was a concoction of all those things.
Now, we're just recently celebrating 50. Now we're 51 years like of hip hop, of the birth of hip hop, as they call it. And growing up in the, they want to give it to the birthplace being, Bronx or New York, if you will. But being from New Jersey, like there we're so close to uh did you know, or did you feel, or did you have any clue that it would become what it is today? Like, did you know when you were in it, and then when you were trying to aspire to be a rapper, or to aspiring to rap, or all the projects that you got involved in at the time, did you have any idea that you would be, what hip hop has become today?
Today,
Hmm.
at the time, not necessarily, um, but to be fair, what it was to me in the beginning is the same thing it is to me now,
Mm.
because the aspect of what you're speaking on it has to do with to some degree of visibility, monetary gain, public relations type of stuff,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
visibility of it. But as far as the culture is concerned, um, it 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 it, it carries the same value that it's always had in my life. Verbs and I came up at a time where, when he says things like I was brought into the music industry through generations, that's something I don't take too lightly.
Right, right,
Because
right.
I'm someone that was on the outside looking in on something like that, and he was the closest proximity I had to something like that. But in my experience, I came up in a time when this system that was carried on in the Bronx and other parts of New York is what happened in Amboy. I was permitted to rap. It wasn't that I was the best rapper, but I was permitted.
They needed you in the city.
Yeah, it was permitted. It was permitted by elders that I always acknowledge in every interview, and I will to this day. That's MCs like
Supreme.
Chili C,
Without chill.
Precise, Nature Born.
Nature
Yeah,
born.
now
Salute.
these were guys that were governing hip hop within certain projects. I wasn't from the projects. I was from what really was the richest section of the
Everybody
city.
thought you was from the South.
But they thought, yeah,
Even
but
though you was from the rich side.
yeah, right, right. But but they permit well, they permitted me. So because of that permission, that's a hip hop hierarchy that a lot of people are not familiar with today. And because of that, you know, it didn't, it's not that I didn't see that it was going to grow into what it is now, but I didn't really have that in mind. And I still don't really have that in mind now, because it's just a certain type of, it's an exercise that we have to do in order to live and express ourselves.
So where are we going next with the music? What should the people be looking for? What should the fans be expecting from Intercontinental Kent?
So right now, like I said, in the very near future, um, me, Dame Grease, Young Z, sex, drugs, and hip hop.
Wait, pause on that. We said what?
Sex, drugs, and hip rock.
Hip rock.
Hip rock.
Okay. So is this a fusion?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a rock and roll inspired rap album.
What?
Yes, and
Okay.
it's definitely something special. It's something different, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's like Kay was saying to me the other day. We miss those relationships, those kind of mashups.
Yeah.
Like when you would look at like what Jay Z
Mm.
did with Linkin Park.
Yes.
Um,
Run
like even with Rage Against
DMC.
the Machine, Run DMC,
Okay.
Aerosmith, right?
Right,
Yeah, so
Aerosmith.
like we was trying to sit there and just
Michael
do some
Jackson and Slash.
right, right. Like we sitting there trying to make something
Right.
so different. And keep in mind when we're saying the people that's on it, like we're all friends. Like me and Z, we've known each other since the '90s, late '90s. Right after they put out the Nightlife EP with the Outsiders.
Okay.
Um, me and Grease, we actually got with each other at X's funeral. And
Wow.
I like to clarify when I say at the funeral, like we were both at the ride out. So what y'all saw on TV was the actual ride out.
Hmm.
Thousands and thousands of people from every borough came. We went through every borough, ended at the Barclays Center. Incredible. right?
Wow.
But the actual funeral was a private funeral at a church in Brooklyn where only family and friends can come. Heavy security, you weren't just getting in. That's where me and Grease got together, right? Because if you were in there, you were somebody.
Right.
And I wasn't in the back standing, I'm in the third row. And I could have been up closer, but I was like, let me reserve that,
For,
like the little space there for his actual blood relatives.
right.
So me, Grease, and Tip. So Tip, rest in peace, he passed away a few weeks ago.
Mm,
That's who actually bought DMX to Rough Riders.
gotcha.
Well, to DNY, I say. And Grease is the first person to sit there and put a project together for X. He also did like he was working with Mace. He was rocking with Eve. He was over there with Dr. Dre working on Eve stuff when she was Eve of Destruction.
Right. Right. Right.
Same thing with Locks. Like he was doing the joints on the Money Power Respect album. But his first joint in the industry was actually We'll Always Love Big Papa.
Mm,
So this is Young Z, Outsiders, Eminem, so 8 Mile, stuff like that. These are Grammy Award winning people. So not only are they my brothers, my friends, but like I'm still a fan.
right. Right.
So
Right.
and we're the weirdest combination. Nobody that's gonna watch this, and nobody in this room can picture Young Z or Dame Grease. And I got Grease rapping, not just making beats. Right.
Wow.
So nobody here is gonna
Exclusive.
sit there and say that they could picture either one of them on a rock and roll beat.
Right. Wow.
It's mind blowing. And the way it even came about, like this wasn't the plan. The plan was me and Z were gonna do a song together,
Okay.
and we were waiting on Grease to get the beat
We're
done.
talking about the outsiders, right? We're
Yeah,
talking about Young Z.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, Jersey. So
Okay. Just
Grease
want to
was
make sure
making
y'all
the beat,
understand Jersey's up in
and
here.
Grease ended up getting caught up. He had to do something one day, so Z was like, "Okay, you know what? Let's wait for Grease to do another the second beat. Let's get something done. I got a beat." Beat was made by a cat named Jay Blex. I heard the beat. I was like, "Oh, that's fresh." And he was like, "Yo, you mind if Digger get on the joint?" Now Rod
Mm.
Digger and Young Z
Okay,
they have a
Jersey
daughter.
again.
Well, they have a daughter together.
Right, right, right,
Yeah.
right. Z
Salute
and
Sativa.
Digga. Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, you don't even got
Sativa, which
yeah,
I love that name.
word up." I said,
Oh,
"You don't even gotta ask me if Digger could get on the joint." Like I met her the exact same day I met Z back then.
okay.
So I was like, "Of course she can get on it." So Digger does the hook on it. I'm like, "Oh,
Mm.
that shit ugly."
Mm-hmm.
Then the joint come on, you hear Z, "What up, Digger?" "Yeah, verbs." I'm like, "Oh, this ugly." Verse is done. I did my verse. Now Grease comes back the next day
Mm-hmm.
and he got a ill ass ill sample. Sorry for the cursing. So Grease comes, he got an ill joint, and I was like, "Yo, Z." Grease, he sent me the beat. He said, "Okay, send it." I said, I give it to Z. He was like, "Yo." Now he comes up. He started it off by saying hip rock. I was like, I like that word. Immediately, title search. Bet we're gonna trademark this right now, right now, right now, right now.
Yeah.
So boom. So now we got Z verse. I put a verse on it, and I was like I love rock music.
Yeah.
I love it.
Really.
And even when we was going with the name alternative, like with groups like Sublime,
Right.
Nirvana, REM, stuff like that. Like that
Okay.
was always my
Okay.
wave. So I was like, yo, you know how they got sex, drugs, and rock and roll? He was like, yeah. I said, why would you sex, drugs, and hip rock? And Grease was like, did anybody use the name hip rock? I said, now?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, me.
Right. That's what I said to him. He was like, I bet. Now, mind you, Grease is from Harlem.
Okay.
I'm a Jersey baby. Grease left to come down here, actually. Him and DMX came to Arizona.
Of course, I recall.
And then afterwards, I'm not going to say on the air where we live at because I'll be telling people that I live in Ocho Rios. But right, so when me and Grease was at X's funeral, we talking and we got a lot of stuff done. And throughout the months of him sending me beats and this, that, and the third, and us getting joints together, he was like, "Yo, you should come down here." And I was like, "Word?" And then he told me where he was at and all that. And I was like, "You know what? I don't got nothing really going on in Jersey that I want to do." So Grease got me to actually move down there. So me and Grease actually live around the corner from each other.
Wow.
And I salute this brother because again, we're talking about
Another legend indeed.
100 million physical records sold. I didn't say 100 million streams. 100 million physical. You got to walk into the store and buy the CD or the tape, whatever you did, records.
Wow.
He went and found my apartment for me. Like he's literally running around, taking time out of his day.
Mm-hmm.
He owes me nothing,
Right.
and he's going. Like I'm looking at the places I like online, and he's going and checking for me. He's interviewing with the people for me.
Okay.
And we're on WhatsApp on video, so I'm doing virtual tours as he's walking around like, yo, that closet's big enough for you.
Wow.
It's like I'm kind of
That's
a ridiculous sneaker. But and he didn't, this wasn't one time. This is like a bunch of times.
Okay.
And
he put in work.
Right. And again, this man owes me nothing.
Right.
And him doing that for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is definitely gonna be something right here. And we finally locked in on the place. I was 1 day late paying for the security deposit.
Ooh.
And I was like, I want it. And they was like, I'm sorry.
Oh wow.
And but they said, but we got something else for you.
Okay.
It's a little bit bigger than the one you wanted. And it's a little fresher. I said, show it to me. Grease was like, you want me to check? I said, go check it out for me if you can. He went and checked it out. He showed me. I said, get it right now.
Oh wow.
When you gonna send the deposit? Check your Zelle. It was like that. So yeah, so
that's
us
love.
putting this
That
project right. So it was only, and then me and him started working on the project.
You have a full project.
Oh yeah,
him,
me and
correct?
Grease got we got a couple projects. So we were working on my solo album first.
Okay.
And we got a bunch of joints done. Then we ended up started getting these songs done with Z.
Okay.
And once we did that, I was like, we was already like 15 songs in for my solo joint. And I'm like, let me put that to the side. Let's get this done with Z, and then I'll go back to that. Because Z, mind you, they're doing the tour with Lauryn Hill and the Fugees. Wow. So you're taking, same thing, like Z is sitting there off these tour dates, mad shows with everybody, this, that, and the third, and still coming back home and recording the song for me. And then a couple of days later, we recorded another song. Okay, he's on the road for a couple of days, salutations, all that, and then come back and record another joint for me. So I felt like if you're willing to do that for me, it's only right that I could put my solo thing to the side for a second, just like so I can be respectful of your time.
Right.
And then keep in mind, Grease also got a bunch of other artists he's working with. Plus, and I'm probably not going to say this, but look, Grease, you didn't tell me I couldn't say it, so I'm going to say it.
Right.
He got a whole DMX gospel album.
You heard it here first.
He has an unreleased DMX gospel album.
Wow.
And on top of a bunch of other.
That surprised me because DMX always had a prayer on every project he had, right? Every
I'm talking like a whole entire gospel album plus a bunch of other joints. Like he even released unreleased DMX record last year on New Year's Eve. Crazy joint.
Wow.
And so it's like they're putting this work in for me, and I'm putting in working together. Like Z and Grease didn't know each other, so I was kind of like the glue that brought that together. Yeah. And then they got cool, so we working. We get Rod Dick on the project.
Wow.
She was the first feature on the first song that we recorded. We do Goon Music. Actually, we Want War next. My brother Quaz, me, Young Z. Quaz, y'all might know him from working with Eric Sermon, Teddy Riley on the whole No Diggity stuff and all that. And actually before that, because I think that's when they changed the name, but Rump Shaker. Doing all that stuff, then him and Black Rob doing projects together, all that. So we working. Then we do Gold Music. We got K Banger on the joint. We got Quads on that. Z. We got Don Marvel, Wu-Tang affiliate. He's on the We Want War joint. And we kept that project so close knit. So then we get to do another joint, and Grease was like, and it's funny because Grease, he raps, like he raps. He always says, "Oh, I'm the rapper." He raps because he's all over my solo album. We got a joint called Soul Stealers. It's ugly, but we go to do a joint, and it wasn't even a beat that he made. It was a beat that my man Cropsy from Cali made, and Grease was like, "Yo, I want to get on that," and I'm like, "What?" And I'm sitting in his crib with him, and I was like, "Yo, like, if you let's go."
I'm excited.
And he puts a verse on it, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy because like I've seen I'm around him now every day. I've been living down there for almost 2 years. March makes 2 years. So I'm seeing his writing process. And his writing process is like what a lot of people would say about Hove or Big. You know what his writing process is? He doesn't write.
Go in there and drop it.
Yeah, but Greece just sits back, and it's like Greece is basically what you would think about when you see that when you hear, well, Jay-Z doesn't do this. Greece, if y'all can see me on camera, this is Greece right here. Boom, record.
Right, right.
And it's just a super dope process. And I didn't see him do that on one joint. I've been around personally to watch him do it on over 50.
Wow.
So and then he'd be like, but I'm not a rapper though.
Right.
Stop. Stop. And
that's not his first probably love per se, but he
yeah,
know.
but like we're looking at like he got endless hits. Like he's responsible for bringing Max B
For
to
sure.
where he's at, French Montana.
Right.
Like
He's done a lot.
DMX, The Locks,
Right.
Eve, Drag On.
No doubt.
So like,
no doubt.
he was one of the people. Like a lot of people thought Swizz made the first DMX album. Swizz only did one album. Salute Swizz, my double law brother.
Yeah.
But he only did one joint on that album. He only did the anthem.
Wow.
Yeah, the rest was like Grease, PK, and them brothers.
So what should we be looking out for next? Like, where are we promoting now? What is the feature now? What should we be looking for? What should your fans be looking for to stream or to buy or to purchase? I know the two of you have some tracks together.
Oh yeah.
We,
So we got a bunch of joints on my website. It's INT.KINT.com.
Okay.
Me and K Banger got a joint. Like I said, it's called I Don't Know. It's me here in right. It's me, K Banger, and No Malice of the Clips. Okay. We also have a song called Built to Win. Like I said, the Sex, Drugs, and Hip Rock album. My solo album, which I'm so stuck on the title. Actually, I'm working on 2 solo projects now. One's basically done. The name of that's Mama's Boy.
Okay.
But I'm still trying to figure out like the perfect name for this project that me and Grease are doing. It's like a lot of up-tempo music. Okay. A lot of people are scared to go past 100 right now on the BPMs. Okay, know that? Why? Because you want me to give an honest reason why? Because everybody's so drugged up right now they can't keep up with 100. They straight up and down.
Facts.
Like everybody in this room, we come from an era where it wasn't cool to be a fiend. Now you're not cool if you're not a fiend.
Ouch.
And it's despicable. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And I'm so conscious of like I might play around and joke and say some stupid stuff, but I'm very conscious of what it is that I say because I know that they're watching. My son is 23 years old. He's been with me since he was a bit. Like I was there when he was born, obviously, and he's still with me now. We live in the same house together, and it wasn't a me, him, and his mother thing. It was I got my baby boy. He raps as well, and I know he was always watching what I did. He was 5 years old with Rough Rider, like the little tattoos that you wet and put it on your arm. He had the tats
like
already.
the Jack in the Box, the crack
right.
ones I used to get.
And you know what he is right now? He's an official Rough Rider right now.
Oh my goodness!
Right. He raps right now. He raps in English and Spanish.
It's the new generation coming through.
Right. So
I love it.
Yeah. So I make sure that not like. I got 14 sisters and 5 brothers, right?
Oh, that's a lot.
I got 64 nieces and nephews that I know of.
Lord, did he say 14?
And I gotta look at like everybody. Like I might not know your kids. I might not know Sangria's kids. Might not know Kay's kids personally, but I know I gotta treat these kids' ears the same way that I want people to respect what my kids.
Yes, it's a new generation. We have to protect them.
Right. Yeah,
develop
like
them.
Because like all this destruction is a learned behavior.
Right.
And you really can't expect people to follow guidelines if they've never had guidance.
Ooh.
So
say that then.
Right. So I try to make sure that the stuff that
That's
I say
right there,
could like but my company's called Headliners and Legends Edutainment, not entertainment.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna sit there and preach to you on every joint, but there's gonna be some kind of a message in everything.
Right.
And that's why I do a lot of pop type music because I want to give you what you want. You want to dance, you want to laugh and joke and smile and this, that, and the third. But when you come by the whole project as a whole, you're going to get something like this. You're going to see us perform Built to Win tomorrow.
I'm excited
and that
about
song
that.
Right there, that we're using Rock Nation Distro.
Yes.
And that song right there, like I said, I felt comfortable when Kay said, "Yo, think," and before the whole thing's written, he said, "Think Nickelodeon on this."
Right.
And no Diddy. We ain't talking to hide kids in suitcases,
Not no
Nickelodeon.
Diddy.
Not that. So I
Hello.
wanted to, y'all ain't about to make a meme out of my ass. We're not doing that.
Right,
Pause.
right,
No
right,
Diddy.
right.
Um,
Pause.
but when he said that, and I'm like, yeah, and we're just thinking like, there's no curses. It's catchy. It's a meaningful song where we're telling people that they're basically champions. We're telling everybody, no matter what, you got this. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. Anything worth keeping is worth fighting for. So that's that. We're telling everybody you can do it. Whatever you, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. Whatever you
Man,
set your mind to, it's yours.
it's yours.
Right.
You have a lot going on, and I want everyone to be able to connect to you and to be able to follow you and to be able to chase down all the music and projects that you're involved in. What is the best way to follow you and to keep up with what's going on with international, intercontinental, INT, where however you want to say it,
Word, so
intkent.com. What's the
uh-huh.
best way?
You just said it
Did I
first.
do it?
It's Kint.com.
Did I do that?
INTKINT.com on IG. Int Kint Official. Look, my page looks kind of stiff right now. I had 208,000 followers on one, 175,000 on the other. I ain't starting. I got screenshots up there to prove it. Somebody hit me with the, hey, do you want some dope cartoon art? I always say no.
Not
The one day
them.
I said yes.
They got
They
you.
said,
Gaffled.
but I told them, I said, look, I'm not. See, I told you I love the West Coast words, gaffle. But look, I said, I'm not going to pay you in advance. I need to see the work done first because there's a lot of scammers. I'm not a scammer, bro. Okay, well, show me the work and I'll pay you. Boom. He said, okay, well, I got to make sure you're a real person. Send me the, I'm going to send you a link and you click it. That's going to tell me you're a real person. Something told me not to
Got
do
him.
it, but the Hennessy and pineapple told me not to listen myself and
Oh,
do it.
not the
I
anything
did
is
it.
possible.
Yo, as soon as I clicked that link, stripped. Like, I got logged out of all accounts immediately. And when I contacted, I didn't realize that Instagram does not have a help center. Because you have to go through Facebook. By the time I called it, they said, no exaggeration, that my page had been hacked. I mean, not hacked. They said my page had been password changed and a name changed over 1,000 times in that day. And they said that's bots that do it. So when you look at the
Wow.
page, don't be like, oh, he only got 8,000 followers on one and
Okay.
10 on the other.
Okay.
Listen, I got jerked. But it's Int Kent Official.
Perfect.
If y'all, I own a kennel. I breed Frenchies and bullies. But if you guys are interested in dogs,
Okay.
HL Kennels on IG, and that's kennels with a Z. Um, like I said, anybody want a direct contact other than the website or IG, email me, intkinthl@gmail.
Okay, Banger. Same question. So, I mean, I really want everyone that's listening to have an opportunity to connect with you and to see and to follow you and to see what you have going on and to keep this jersey going strong. What is it? How can we follow you? How can we keep up with what K Banger's got going on?
K Banger is streaming on all platforms right now. If you Google K Banger, I'll come right up. And the I have a link tree /KBANGER Keith underscore that's KEITH underscore K underscore banger on Instagram.
Okay. All right. So, in the spirit of Media Made Music, Media Made Magazine, and Media Made TV, and in the absence of the great Sangria, I'm going to ask you a very important question. If you had an opportunity, International Kent, to perform with any artist, living or passed away, or to possibly even do a track or a project with that artist, who would it be and why?
Okay, so as far as living, it was gonna be my favorite lyricist of all time, and that's Andre 3000.
Ooh.
As far as a deceased artist, that's when it gets kind of tricky. Like, it's like I love so much different music. So of course, who wouldn't want to say Michael Jackson,
Of
right? So
course. Duh.
it could be MJ, um, but I would also say Pac, because
Mm,
Pac I feel was the most prolific lyricist of all time. I don't think he was the best rapper per se, um, but I think he's the most prolific lyricist. And so it would be a Pac, it'd be a Michael Jackson. Um, But yeah, yeah.
Okay, K Banger.
That's a tough one.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
What you got?
Because yeah, yeah, I have a hard time with favorites. But the first person that kind of came to mind was Sade for some reason, so I'll say her.
I love that.
Yeah, I'll say her.
Wow. Okay,
Tina
perfect.
Marie.
Oh,
Ooh, I
yeah,
miss her.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
don't
yes,
even go
yes.
there. Sangria is probably just like, I know you did it. Because that is, we love Tina Marie. We've done some road trips, and let me tell you, hours of Tina Marie and Jadakiss is what I remember. But anyway, I digress. Listen, y'all, this is AZ Chemistry. Thank you so much for joining us today. Media Made Music, Media Made TV, Media Made Magazine. Yo, it's Media Made everything up in here. Today is Jersey Strong. AZ Chemistry. Take over Media Made everything. Listen, stay strong, stay happy, stay healthy, and listen. Join us every week here at Media Made Music, Media Made TV. Just log in and stay connected. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. It's AZ Chemistry. Peace.
Peace.